Well, I live like these people, so I don't, I call everyone darling, and I do throw myself on cushions, and that's the way I operate. So, to me, Sarah Bernhardt is exactly normal behavior. But I appreciate so much that, and I think this is the genius of what Gregory and Richard and my colleagues have achieved, which is we are so into watching this gorgeous, fabulous, naturalistic couple also be, theatrical and emotional, but there's not a thread of cringeworthy artificiality. It's a very fine balance, and I think they're so skilled that they achieve it. And again, it's why do we go to the theater?
Right.
This is a theatrical event.
Right.
We want to see this kind of thing, but the inherent structure of the piece and what the piece is saying is so poignant and realistic, and what's going on today. It's about marriage.
Absolutely.
That we can all relate to it.
It goes back to the Olivier thing we were talking about, outside in or inside out acting, and I don't know. Maybe we're different. I don't know. Sometimes you realize where the play has to go, like it has to reach this height emotionally or whatever. It has to get to this point. And sometimes you just have to push yourself there, even if you're not ready. Like even if you're not supported, like you don't know what you're doing. Like you have to jump into it, and then that's what rehearsal is about, is then figuring out how do I actually make this, how do I actually substantiate this and make this something believable.
The play tells us exactly where we need to go. I mean, again, I think it's a great play because it does, you got to get from here to here. And what's kind of wonderful about it is, I think Molnar truncates a lot of the logic. Normal people might take 20 minutes to get from here to here.
Right.
These two, it's boom,
Right.
and it's,
Right.
which is interesting to watch, but it also means you can't overthink things too much.
Yeah.
You're having a war, and now you're in tears, and now you've won, and now you're back to the war, and you
you
can't
have to play each thing fully. And then drop it when it moves on.
There were definitely awful days of rehearsal, though. I remember there were a couple days where I was like, our big joke was call Katie Holmes. I was like, Katie Holmes and Shia LaBeouf are going to be coming in and taking over. Because you're like, all right, we're just going to take the risk today. And sometimes you take the risk and you're like, and that didn't work at all. That was embarrassing. And 8 people who I really respect just saw it happen. You leave rehearsal and be like, beer? There were more than a few of those days, at least for me.
No,
but it was interesting. We watched with Gregory, our director, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. And when he first brought up that we were going to watch this movie, I was like, oh, well, I love the film and it's great and I've seen it, but what the hell are we watching this for with the Guardsman? It's a marriage and all that. But what Sarah just said was so interesting because they go from there to there real quick. And there's a celebrated couple. You couldn't get more celebrated. And there they are in this piece, and their emotional ups and downs are lickety-split. Really quicksilver. And we bought every one of them.
Yes.
And that did actually help us, I think, with this idea.
It's like, oh, that's possible.
Oh, it's really possible. To just say, oh, okay, darling, oh, hump the hostess, or whatever, and somehow you're going to buy it. And because it's great writing.
And it gives you permission, too, to put all of your good manners away. You know what I mean? Be like, this is not how I'd behave, but sorry.